Hi everyone, I'm Deborah, and today Deanna and I are going to give you a tip of the day.
Yes.
And then we're going to talk about a story that is very, very near, very dear, and very deep. So we're going to get the fun stuff out of the way first, and then we're going to get into our deep discussion. So we're going to do the tip of the day first.
Yes, the tip of the day. Everybody should know this because it's all about sustainability of the product and how much use you can get out of this little tube, this nice size tube of Tinted Moisturizer, which is our #1 bestseller.
Yes, almost everyone has one of these.
Or two.
Yeah, and
depending on what season it is.
right. And they order it, how often do you think? Like every 2 to 3 months, would you say?
I don't know, 3 to 4.
3 to 4 months, yeah.
Yeah,
So this little
maybe.
tube will last like 3 to 4 months, and that's using it every day. So if you
Yes.
are using 2 different colors, which some of us are, now I went away to a warmer climate, and so I am my summer color, which is the Sun Glow, and I'll probably be transitioning back into my winter color because we won't have any real heat or sun here until at least June. It's only March. So anyhow, I'm enjoying, having a little bit of color.
Yeah.
It makes such a difference
Yeah, look at
how
the
we
difference.
feel. Yeah, but it makes such a difference in how I feel.
Yeah.
When I look at myself,
Yes.
everything, my teeth look brighter, the whites of my eyes look brighter,
Yeah.
everything does.
Yeah.
So, and Deanna is our winter color. So,
Natural glow.
Natural glow. She's
And there's
gonna,
only 3 shades.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and in the winter I can use the Fair Glow. I could use all 3 shades and throughout the year because the Fair Glow I would use as a highlighter.
Right.
If I would like to, and Deborah showed that in one of our videos as well, using the lighter tinted.
We'll show that again.
But I'm going away tomorrow to some sun, so I've got my Natural Glow and my Sun Glow because I'll transition into the Sun Glow.
Right. Okay.
So-
Cool. So, what do we do when the tube gets low?
And it doesn't pump out anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't pump out, but you can still see there's product in there. So what we do is we cut the tube in half.
Well, first, wait, I want to say that, so before you have to cut the tube in half, what you'll do is unscrew the cap. And there's a lot, there's a fair amount on the cap, and you can stick a Q-tip in there. Okay, and then when you can't get any more out, the last resort is to cut the tube.
Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate just cutting it. Do you cut it right halfway, or do you cut it up here?
I do it halfway.
Halfway, because then you can dip into both ends easily with a Q-tip. Would you grab that one? Yep. Okay, so there is so much more color, so much more product in there. And then just taking a Q-tip and putting a little bit, on the Q-tip, and then dotting it on your face, and then using the brush to smooth it around.
Yep.
And so then when I finish with it, the first time, I'm going to put it in a Ziploc bag to keep it, or you could use a Tupperware container or a glass jar, anything that's going to keep it from drying out. Yeah. And so then tomorrow when I go to use it, there's still a lot more product. I can probably get at least 2 to 3 more weeks.
Oh yeah.
Out of the tube. So that is, that's using every drop of the makeup.
Yes.
And what's great about using the Tim is that you never have to guess your color.
No.
You're all set, for the rest of your life,
Right.
for any season. You never have to, wonder what color to use.
It doesn't feel or look like foundation. It just feels like a moisturizer.
Right.
And it protects your skin from the sun and from the elements. I mean, we've been using it for over 35 years.
Yes, yeah.
So over 35 years, and I've never used anything else. I mean, when I was younger, I would use foundation, but you just want a very natural look, a no makeup look, and the Tinted Moisturizer is the best product out there.
Yeah, so now I just put mine on before I started the video, and my face still looks a little bit shiny, and then within the hour it's going to be more of a glow.
Like mine, I put mine on at 8 o'clock this morning.
Right. And so it gets more and more natural looking too throughout the day. So it's quite a versatile little product.
I know, you're gonna love it.
Love it. Okay, so the next thing is, how do we clean the brush? So typically this brush is very white at the tip. And the best way to clean this brush
Which
is...
was discovered
but when
by
doing it,
chance.
well, because you know, for so long I would wet the brush, then put the shampoo on it, and keep rubbing, rinse it, put more shampoo on.
Because it wouldn't come clean.
It wouldn't come clean. And Deanna really loved to have everything really clean. So I would keep doing that, and it wouldn't come clean. So then one day I put the shampoo on the brush first, and then is this open? Can I just even use this? I don't think so.
Yeah,
Is it open? I put it on the brush first just because I didn't really think about it. I was like, I wonder what this would do if I just put the shampoo on first. Because, you know, I thought about when I use shampoo, and I usually wet my hair first.
Right.
So of course it's
it
natural.
makes sense. Yeah.
It's natural to think, oh, I wet the brush first. So I'm going to put the shampoo on here, and then I just use the palm of my other hand and rub it in, rub, you know, and just get it all through the brush and into the white part, or into the black part, and then I'm going to rinse it, and it's going to be perfectly clean.
It's gonna look just like that.
Yep, it'll look just like this one.
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
So all you need is a gentle shampoo, whatever you use on your hair. I know I use this at home as well, and my husband on their hair. And so just a nice gentle shampoo will clean it. So it's a hair shampoo because this is like hair.
Natural
on
hair.
the brush.
Right.
Okay.
Perfect. So that's our tip of the day.
Hope that really helps. It helps us a lot. It's so, it's just wonderful to know.
Yeah, and your brush will last a lot longer. How often do you do it?
Oh, I do it every 3 to 4 days.
Yes, and so some of us have 2 brushes so that we don't, like, I like to wash my brushes on Sunday.
Once a week.
You know, that's my ritual, Sunday morning, and do it on Sunday. Okay, any questions? Let us know in the comment boxes, or, you know, send us an email at info@timmakeup.com. The next order is our Tim talk of the day. And a couple of weeks ago, I talked about my experience with bipolar and how I was able to heal myself without the use of medication. However, it was a lot of work. You know, it involved nutrition, yoga, relaxation, body work, and you know, eliminating things like, you know, this is in my 20s, eliminating the use of alcohol, any kind of recreational drugs, nothing, and just living a very holistic life. And that was because when I was hospitalized with mania, there actually was a yoga class, and that was in 1987 in our wing in Genesee Hospital here in Rochester. And so that was my introduction. So I learned, after I left the hospital, I vowed to never take another medication, and instead I learned meditation. And back then it was transcendental meditation. And so I've been meditating and doing yoga for nearly 40 years. And that has kept me balanced, because I am a creative person. Creative people tend to be a little bit more imbalanced. And it takes a real consciousness to know what it is that keeps my balance. And so
there's all different things that keep your balance.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, it's never the same.
No. And so different yoga, meditation. I just, you know, it's a part of my life. You know, that's what I do. And my nutrition keeps getting better and better, you know, so one good thing leads to the next. Anyhow, so we do have another story now. Firsthand stories are so much more real than any clinical or psychological or educational stories that you'll hear from therapists. So I'm talking firsthand. This was my experience. I'm not saying that that's for everybody.
No.
I'm not saying medication is bad.
No.
You know, I'm just saying this was my experience with this. With this diagnosis. And so diagnosis are sometimes a label that, you know, attaches to us, and that we embody. So it's good to know ourselves, and know yourself from within. And this journey has led me, having had that experience in my 20s, changed my life for the rest of my life. And so because I took control of it and took control of my own body and knew what was best for me.
Right, and you didn't depend on anyone outside you to tell you what was best for you.
Right, exactly.
So no one else can help you. You can only help yourself.
Yes.
And only you know, it's a deep knowing within what you need in the moment, to keep your balance.
Right.
And to connect with yourself.
Yes.
And know that, your health is the most important thing.
Oh yeah, without our health, we don't have anything.
No.
Nothing.
No. And to really appreciate it, when you're feeling great.
Yes.
Too, we always, I appreciate when my health, a lot of times I used to, when I was feeling sick, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't appreciate my health, my good health when I'm well. So once you get well and when you're feeling good, to really, feel that gratitude in your heart for feeling good. Right, because it's so great. It's like better than anything in the world.
Yeah, there's no need to numb yourself.
No
need to numb yourself.
To escape.
With anything. I mean, even caffeine, shopping, coffee. Like chocolate. There's so many things that you can use
or social media
to escape. Yes,
Get into your body.
Go inward.
Yes.
Go inward. Spend a few minutes. I'm even starting to do what is it called? It's like a neurological break. Give my nervous system a break during the day, and just for 10 minutes, just go into my office, do some deep breathing, and really connect and close my eyes, because when we close our eyes, we can go inward and give ourselves that break that we need during the day.
Yeah,
even just when you get in the car.
5 minutes.
Yeah, that's all it takes.
Long.
So that was a success story that we shared with you, and now we have a tragic story to share with you. And so, Deanna, I'm gonna let you.
So when my daughter was 22 years old, which was about 12, 13 years ago, she was diagnosed with bipolar. She had had a few manic episodes and a few depressed episodes. And the first psychiatrist she saw put her on Prozac, and she came out of the depression. But then she didn't like the way she felt on the medication, so she weaned herself off the medication. And then that sent her into, after being on Prozac, it sent her into her first manic state. And then it was, several months later that we got her help again, because the manic state was extreme, and we were afraid that she was going to harm herself. So we went to a psychiatrist, Janet Feigelson. She was really great. At the time, she recommended lithium for Chelsea and my daughter Chelsea, and she said it was really a miracle drug. And I remember now, at the time, she said that Chelsea would be on it for the rest of her life. Chelsea was on it for 7 years. She got balanced. She was doing really well. She worked for Deborah for 6 years, and then came to work for me at the end of 2017. And in 2017, she made the decision to take herself off of lithium, and she was working with a psychiatric nurse, a nurse practitioner at that time, to wean off the lithium. And she maintained her balance and through diet and exercise and her social life, and she had a really large group of friends. She was altruistic. She was so loving to everybody else, and no one knew what she was going through, and because she didn't share it. So she was just amazing. Anyway, it was when we were in lockdown.
Well, the other thing that she used to balance was work.
Yeah.
She loved her work.
Yeah.
And she loved people.
Yeah. And so,
lockdown,
and she started to spiral downward.
Because it was so
Oh
traumatic.
my God, you know.
Very, very
Yeah, I mean, you had the
traumatic.
flashing sign, wear a mask, wash your hands, you know, and this was like all flashing on all the businesses, you know, that you had a sign, wear a mask, and there was just so much fear mongering.
Yes.
And Chelsea was afraid.
She was very sensitive.
Very sensitive. Yes.
Very empathic, very sensitive, and I know how that feels. I was the same way. I couldn't wear a mask.
And then the people, you know, people were so mean.
Yeah, they were
People
so mean.
So attacking and so mean. And so I kept praying that, you know, Governor Cuomo would open up our businesses, and they kept getting delayed and delayed and delayed, and I kept praying, and then we opened up our doors on June 16th, 2020, and here we were, you know, and I had, before I opened, we met with our staff, and I said that, you know, Brow Diva was going to be a beacon of light. No one would know that there was so much fear-mongering going on. But little did we know when we opened the doors, there were three of us, me, Deborah, and Chelsea. We were seeing 4 appointments a day, and four people an hour, and we would have about 30 appointments each. So there were 90 people that walked in our business on June 16th. And when we opened up the doors, literally, I remember it, we opened up to a sea of panic and fear. And we had no idea that was going to happen. Well, that night, Chelsea had a panic attack. And then the next night, she had another panic attack, which, thank God, you were there because you had experienced panic attacks and you knew what to do for Chelsea. And so we helped her through the panic attack. And then the second night, without medication. Then the second night, my husband and I did it again. And then she became delusional. And she was never able to recover from the panic attacks. And what I believe to be true that happened was lithium had already caused the damage to her brain. I mean, it was damaged, and there was nothing that we could do. We did acupuncture, you know, and she was coming to work every day, and
she saw a psychiatrist. She
was seeing a psychologist.
Well, she saw a psychiatrist and did not want to continue with the psychiatrist. And then she did see the psychologist.
Mm-hmm.
However, it was on Zoom, was not in person.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was a real element of disconnection there. And when someone is that delusional, you know, and that separated, you know, from their hearts, all they need is love.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that was what the angel in my life told me when I got out of the hospital.
And Renee, the book that we showed last week, and the damage that it had caused to her brain, and how much, you know, she's done to come back from that. I mean, yes. She went away for a couple
she had
months.
A brain injury.
Yeah, and so Chelsea had a brain injury, and we had no idea. So on January 23rd, 2021, Chelsea took her own life. And I know in my heart that she knew it was the only one thing that was going to save her. And I know that, and I accept that. And mm-hmm. I'm not saying that suicide is or taking your own life is for everyone.
And if you don't agree with her Deanna, okay. Or with me, that's okay too. Yeah. But we knew firsthand what Chelsea experienced. Yeah. Nobody else knew it.
No.
And why didn't they know it? Because we had to wear a mask, and no one could see her face.
And everyone was numbing themselves as
yes.
well, and just, it was just such a crazy time. And Chelsea was such an empath. I mean, she could feel other people's energies. She could. And so it took so much courage and strength and self-love for Chelsea to do what she did.
Yeah.
And I applaud her. And I am so happy because I know now that she's so happy. And I now
she's not suffering anymore.
She's not suffering. And I now do have a relationship with Chelsea in non-physical. I have many faiths. I have a very strong faith and belief that we are souls that inhabit a body. And when it comes to when we leave our vessels, we transcend into non-physical. So I hear Chelsea. Chelsea has given us so many signs, and I accept that this is life. This is life. And I love her, and yes, I miss her physical presence. It's been 2 years now, and it gets a little bit easier because I now have a relationship with her in non-physical.
And that took a while.
It took a long time. It was hard.
That takes work, you know,
And
to
it-
be able to do that. And sometimes we have to change the old programming. And so both of our view, I mean, my view on death was always different, but it's really different now because of how we've experienced Chelsea in non-physical. And it hasn't only been her giving us direct signs. She gives signs to other people who come through our doors and share those signs with us that Chelsea has come to them.
And we share this story every day with clients.
Yeah.
And all of our clients feel uplifted and inspired and feel okay, and feel really good because we're in such a good place. But it is because of my nutrition and my exercise and my yoga and my meditation and my coherence healing and my devotional work is a moment by moment daily thing. It's not given to me. I don't get it from anybody, but I give it to myself. And the last thing I want to say is that when I do watch TV, I was watching Shark Tank the other night, and that every other commercial is a pharmaceutical. And what we need to realize is that the pharmaceutical industry is a business, and they're in the business to sell a product. And the best kind of business that you have are repeat customers. And so when they tell you you're going to be on this drug for the rest of your life, guess who's making all the money? So take control of your own life, take control of your well-being, and it is a daily thing. And
it takes work. It takes being conscious. No one is going to save you. Nothing is going to save you. You can only take care of yourself. And so here we are.
And I just had a client come in the other day that had seen Chelsea regularly, and she hadn't been in since Chelsea transitioned. And Chelsea didn't die, she transitioned, she transcended into non-physical. And when she left, she said, because her husband, everyone knows someone that's attempted to take their life practically, and her husband had tried to take his own life twice before, and she was just so inspired, and she thanked me for the therapy, and she thanked me for sharing my story. So in whatever way this has helped you to realize that we are more than our physical beings, and we're all connected, and we are all connected, and to just realize that and know that really what's important is to feel, and it's to know the love, that we all are.
And to love yourself, without loving yourself, you can't love anyone else.
No. And that's our message.
Yeah.
That's our message today. And we love you all. We really appreciate your support. We're loving your comments. And I know in some way this was even if this just helps one person. We love you. We thank you for your love and support. Bye, everyone.
Fix our sounds.